Welcome to the universe in a seashell, the podcast dedicated to science, life, and girl power. I'm Carabartek and I'm your host. I'm a PhD, an author, and I want to make this world a more equal and opportune place, one girl at a time. Welcome to the podcast, The Universe in a Seashell, the podcast dedicated to science, life, and
girl power.
Does anybody recognize that voice? It is not my regular co-host, Cece, or sometimes called Caroline, but it's actually Penny.
By myself and with no Cece.
No Cece. Penny made a special request to be on the podcast all by herself because what we're going to be talking about is one of her favorite bugs, right?
Yes.
What bug are we going to be talking about?
Ladybugs.
Girl, I'm so excited. Give me a high five. Girl power. Ladybug power. Okay, now, for people who may be tuning in for the very first time and they don't know who you are, can you introduce yourself? Maybe tell us a little bit about who you are? How old you are, what's your favorite color?
I love turquoise, and I'm 4, and I went to a cardinal school right now.
You go to cardinal school. What grade are you in?
4K.
4K?
And we have a lot of stuff. In red, we use red on a focus color, and we use rainbow colors when she tells us to use any color we want.
So you're learning about red in school right now in 4K.
And she says, after red, she says if you want to do rainbow, you could do rainbow. And I have a turquoise crayon.
A turquoise crayon? Okay, so to review, you are 4. You are in 4K. Your favorite color is turquoise. And you're learning a lot about red. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me why ladybugs are one of your favorite bugs?
Because they turn orange or red.
They turn orange or red?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about ladybugs a little bit. Now, did you know that ladybugs aren't actually a bug?
I know.
What are they?
They're a type of beetle.
That's right. They're actually a type of beetle. A lot of times they're called lady beetles or ladybird beetles, which I kind of think that sounds cool.
I like the ladybird beetles.
You like ladybird?
Yeah, I call the red ladybird and the orange ladybird.
It sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Now, since beetles are both boys and girls, but we call them ladybugs, don't you think that's a little strange? Don't you wonder why they call all of them, even the boys and the girls, a ladybug?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Okay, so according to the dictionary, ladybugs are actually named after the Virgin Mary. Did you know that?
I know.
That's the mother of Jesus, okay? Now, the 7 marks of a particular ladybug that was very common in Europe when they began to name this particular beetle reminded people of the Virgin Mary's 7 sorrows. So they would see those 7 spots and they would say, man, that reminds me of the Mother Mary's 7 sorrows. So they ended up naming her the ladybug after the ultimate lady, right?
Yes.
Now, they are not true bugs, correct?
Yes, I know, but they are living bugs.
They are actually beetles.
I know.
But they come in a variety of colors. And this is something that you kind of touched on, didn't you? What colors?
Orange and red.
You've seen them in orange and red?
But not blue.
Listen,
blue.
Well, listen to this. According to my research, they come in a wide range of colors, all the way from gray to dull brown to metallic blue. So they do come in blue. I didn't see anything about turquoise, but I definitely saw something about metallic blue.
I saw a turquoise ladybug and it looked like my mermaid tail.
Yes. Penny, we adopted Penny from a pack of mermaids.
Yeah.
And so she used to have a mermaid tail. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it fell off.
But it fell off
Cut it
when you
with scissors.
after we adopted you from that pack of mermaids. Okay. Now, so their colors can be orange, red, blue, gray, brown. But did you know that they don't always have to have dots either? Some of them can have stripes.
I want to see a stripe one.
Oh, they're really cool. Some of them even have squiggles.
And like they but do they have like those terminate do they have little spots it looks like butterflies?
Well, I think you're definitely on the right road. So, what we most commonly see in ladybugs are the little dots. But the number of those dots can vary. So there is a ladybug that's called the twice-stabbed ladybug, and it's black, and all it has is 2 very bright red dots. So there's only 2 dots on the whole ladybug.
Whoa.
Then there's another one that's yellow, and it is a 22-spot ladybug. And guess how many spots it has? If it's called the 22-spot ladybug, guess how many spots it has?
1, 2, 3, 4.
22.
What?
That's a lot of spots for a teeny tiny little beetle, right?
Is it on its belly?
It's on its back, on the wings. Now, but listen to this.
But what if it
There
was
is-
on its belly?
That would be kind of crazy, huh? We wouldn't be able to see it because it's always walking on its belly. So it's better to see it on its back.
Yeah.
Now listen to this. There is a ladybug that is called the harlequin ladybug. Now this sounds like the coolest one of all because listen, it can be yellow, red, black, and almost any combination of those colors. And its number of spots can vary between 0 and 22. That's a lot of spots for a ladybug, isn't it?
But I thought it had those type of those stripes on it.
Yeah, some of them have stripes, but not the harlequin. The harlequin has all of the different colors of the rainbow plus
But what
bunch
if
of spots.
the ladybugs would have turquoise? But what if the ladybugs have turquoise?
You know what? If we ever discover a turquoise ladybug, you and we're gonna have to name it the penny ladybug. What do you think? Is that a deal? Can you shake on it, or can you? Here, let's do a pinky promise. That's better. There we go. Pinky
do
promise.
that.
Pinky promise. Okay, now listen. Now, why do you think that ladybugs have all of these different colors?
Like they have orange. They have orange?
Yeah, but why? Why do they have those different colors?
Because they're a ladybug.
Now listen, these colors are a warning sign, okay? This is a way of them trying to avoid being eaten. Because guess who likes to snack on ladybugs? Birds.
Birds?
Yeah.
So they hide somewhere?
Other bugs.
They hide somewhere?
Well, they're not hiding. They don't use camouflage. They're trying to use all of their bright colors and warn other animals. And what they're trying to do is tell them that they are toxic or that they just taste bad. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Like they taste bad with blood in it?
Yeah. So what they're trying to do. So for example, okay, skunks.
Skunks have
Skunks
blood?
have a giant stripe on their back to warn other animals that if they get too close, guess what's going to happen? Psst. And you start to stink, right?
Yeah. Like a dog got sprayed.
A dog.
Video.
Yeah, a dog got sprayed, and you've got to be careful
I
because
watched
those
it
dogs
in the
stink.
sea. I saw a skunk sprayed me in the mermaid tail. So I have to wash my mermaid tail and see.
Oh, that was when you were a mermaid? Okay. Well, as long as it didn't happen like when you were sleeping in the sheets. Can you imagine if you got sprayed by a skunk and then you had to go lay down in your sheets? And all your stuffed animals would smell like skunk spray.
Yeah, and my bed was smelling.
It would be super stinky.
Yes, and Cece will sleep in your bed.
Now, but listen to this. Coral snakes also use colors to warn other animals about them being dangerous. So coral snakes are red, black, and yellow, and they're all stripes. Have you ever heard the term red and yellow kill a fellow?
No.
Yes, that means that they're poisonous when you see that red and yellow combination. The ladybugs are using the same warning system. They're using their brightly colored shells to let others know that I taste really terrible.
Like,
Or
they
I'm
have-
poisonous.
or like they have like those slime in them, like the slime.
Yeah, see, okay, now you're right onto it. Because do you know how they defend themselves? With a toxic chemical. Did you know that they produce toxic chemicals?
Toxic chemicals is like made out of that slime.
Oh, it's terrible. And you know what happens if a bird eats a ladybug? They get a terrible taste in their mouth. It's kind of like eating one of those black jelly beans. Blah.
Blech. I hate those.
Now,
They're weird kind.
but here's the deal. We're talking about color. The brighter the color of the ladybug, the more toxic the chemical.
Like the comic is like this, like.
So basically, if there's a really bright ladybug out there and a bird swoops down and gets it and says, "Ooh, I'm about to have a little afternoon snack," that bird should have known by looking at the color of that ladybug that it was going to taste bad. And guess what's going to happen to that poor bird?
Die?
I don't think they'll die, but they'll definitely not feel good.
What?
It says that it takes a lot of the poison, a lot of the toxins to make somebody or an animal sick. But it definitely won't taste good. Is that right?
Yeah, but would like the bird will barf? Does birds barf?
I'm sure they definitely could.
One
That would
time,
be terrible, barfing everywhere.
a little fish barfed on my mermaid tail, so I have to.
Oh,
pick
when you
it
were a
off,
mermaid?
and I wash it off
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
So it was a little dot, so I washed it off and picked it off.
I didn't realize fish barfed on mermaids.
I know.
Why would that fish barf on your mermaid tail?
And they pooped on me. So I picked it up and washed my mermaid tail too.
Well, I'm glad that you are a fan of cleanliness. You're definitely not a fan of cleanliness in your room. Yeah. You never pick up your toys. I'm just saying.
I just put them on my shelf.
Okay,
Just
now listen to
in my
this.
toy box.
Now, ladybugs, the way that they reproduce is that they lay eggs. But here's the deal. They will lay eggs that have little baby ladybugs in them, but they also will lay extra eggs that don't have any babies in there, so when the babies hatch, they can have a snack.
Oh, a little snack.
So when the babies come out and they're super hungry, they'll look over and they'll see some of the eggs that are there for their snack, and they'll just gobble them up.
How? Like this? Take a little bite and then take a big bite.
Yeah, take a little bite and big. Now, when they come out, they look like little larvae. And actually, you know what my research said that they look like? A teeny tiny alligator. Right?
Is it green? Was it green?
Yeah, they're kind of green and black, and they crawl around, and they're really creepy crawly, and they just eat up all of those eggs.
But what if a ladybug's bite on Bob? That'd be pretty funny.
Hopefully they don't bite Bob. Now, so they go from egg to larva, but then the next stage is something that's called pupa, okay? Now, the pupa is the stage right before they turn into the ladybugs that we know. But do you know what these pupa look like?
I don't know what is a pupa.
Aliens! I'm serious, okay? They look like little aliens. They are protected by a hard covering, and they make a transformation into an adult by breaking down their old body parts and creating new ones. And once they're ready to grow into an adult, they will burst out of their skin. Yeah, can you believe that?
But I thought they were like kind of made out of like that, the texture slime. But what if a bird eats one of those babies?
Then they might get sick.
What the heck? With those, the tail and slime?
Well, here's the deal. It's generally the bigger ladybugs that have the more toxins. But let's talk about how ladybugs fly, okay? Now, we've all seen ladybugs lift up that big dome part on their back, right? But did you know that's not their wings?
I know that that's not their wings.
Now, the colorful dome is actually just armor for the ladybug.
I know. That's armor.
So they actually fly by lifting up their little protective covers, you know, those little shells on the back, and underneath there is a pair of wings.
If they like, what if they're like the detective fiend? The detective fiend falls off and they won't get safe.
Well, then, yeah, they wouldn't have any armor. They wouldn't have any armor, and maybe the birds would come in and get them. Now, these little wings that are underneath the armor are actually perfect for flight. They just stay folded right underneath that hard shell. Have you ever seen the ladybug's little tiny wings? When they lift up their shells and you see that fluttering underneath, it goes like this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen bees do that. Bees.
Bees do that?
And honey. And hummingbirds. I saw it.
Now, okay. When do you normally see ladybugs?
I used to catch them in the sea. Let's jump up and grab them.
Did you see them mostly in the summertime?
I saw them everywhere.
Or in the springtime?
I saw them in the snow time and stuff.
Well, let me tell you. They survive the winter because, you know, we normally see them in the spring and summertime whenever there's a lot of food and everything's abundant. But guess what? They overwinter. And the way that they survive the winter is they all cuddle together in a huge group. Sometimes they'll lay on logs, sometimes they'll be under leaves, and they basically hibernate, for lack of a better word. They just kind of hang out all together and try to keep
owls
warm.
Keep on hibernate, and I made a hole in a tree and I give an owl that hole so it could survive in summertime.
Well, listen to this. Some ladybugs will actually come into your house to keep warm and to survive the winter.
Can we keep a ladybug if it doesn't have anything to grab?
Well, listen to this. They will come into your house in huge numbers. They will settle into dark crevices, and they won't chew up your furniture or damage your furniture in any way, but they do secrete a noxious liquid. That's that poison that we were talking about, and it could stain your surfaces. Gross. Gross.
I'll grab a leaf and put it on it so it can survive the meat. Wherever.
Now, here's the deal. Ladybugs are predators. Did you know that?
Why?
They love to eat other insects, and generally they like to eat the insects that we don't like. The insects that kill our plants, that eat up our flowers, the bad things like aphids. So, for example, in Mom and Dad's sorghum fields, we like to see those ladybugs because they eat up the sugarcane aphids, which are no good. They're terrible.
You and Dad?
Yes, we like to. They're called a beneficial predator. So let me tell you, one time I was actually in a field that had aphids in there, and I started getting bit by something. And I thought it was
a ladybug.
It was. I thought it was the aphids that were biting me, but it was actually the little ladybugs that were biting me. They could bite a person.
Like, if you give them out some food, they won't bite you. right?
Right. If they have aphids. Now, here's the deal. A single ladybug could eat upwards of 5,000 aphids in its lifetime. Can you imagine? 5,000?
But did you feed the lady? You picked them up and you feed it to the sugar bug.
Some people do. Some people will actually introduce ladybugs into certain yards, fields, for just a natural and organic pest control.
Like if I found a ladybug, would I get it? And I found an aphid on our back porch and feed it. And I picked it up and I feed it to the aphid.
Well, you have to be careful because some ladybugs eat aphids, but some ladybugs like to eat pollen, plants. Some eat fungi, which is like a mushroom. There is one type of ladybug that's called the orange ladybug, and all it eats is mildew. Okay?
Is that good for them?
Yeah, they love it. Now, some of them eat on beans, squash, cantaloupes, and pumpkins, so it all depends on the type of ladybug. But for the most part, you can really count on ladybugs eating up all of the bad pests in your garden.
What if Emma finds a ladybug and pick it up and I feed it some pumpkin?
I bet you they'd like that pumpkin. So, to really recap, okay, so a ladybug is not really a bug, is it?
I know.
What is it? What is it?
It's like a ladybird or a lady.
But what do we call it? A beetle? We call it a beetle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a ladybug is actually a beetle, and it's not just a red bug. It can come in all colors.
Like, it could come in orange or red or blue.
Yeah, orange, red, blue, yellow,
and black,
gray, black. It's a whole rainbow of colors. Now, what do ladybugs like to eat?
Sugar bugs are not good for plants.
Oh, they eat the sugarcane aphid? Yep, that's right. They'll eat other aphids, but they also like to eat on certain types of plants and vegetables, don't they?
But what if they find a color on it and they said, that's not and they said it doesn't taste good?
Well, maybe they'd have to go down to Whataburger or Taco Bell. What do you think?
We could feed it some pumpkin if it comes to Halloween.
Yeah, if he comes to Halloween, then he could definitely have some pumpkin.
Yeah, like pumpkin pie or something.
So, are ladybugs still your favorite bug? Even though it's not really a bug? Even though it's a beetle?
Yeah.
All right, Penny, what do you want to say to all of our friends?
Ready on.
Oh, my goodness.
That was just an ant.
Oh, there was an ant on you? Okay, thank goodness that you screamed into the microphone. So, that made everything better, didn't it?
Oh, I have a ladybug, too.
Oh. So, is there anything that you want to say to your friends who are listening? What do you want to tell them about? What do you want to tell them about ladybugs?
Emma likes ladybugs and she loves them because there's all different colors. But if they don't find the color, and I found a ladybug and give it to them, and I take I bulk some of the pumpkin and feed it to a ladybug.
That wraps everything up. Thank you guys for listening about ladybugs. Guys, if you like this podcast, please make sure that you subscribe or hit the notification button in whatever podcast application that you're listening to. Also, please rate and review us because that gives great information to me to let me know what we're doing good, what we're not doing good. And it also raises the visibility of this podcast because the Universe in a Seashell is all about making this world a more equal and opportune place, one girl at a time.
Mommy, the paper.
The paper is flying away. So you want to say bye-bye, Penny?
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.
Was that good?